direction. Come on, Bumpy. Good girl. No, change direction. Good girl. Change direction. Change direction. Look at you.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Change direction. Now go. Good. Good girl. Up. 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 Good girl. Up. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Up, up, up. Good girl. Good girl. Up. Let's go. Let's go. Whoa. Whoa. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. It's difficult to follow commands. Sometimes it's very hard. The Lord has given us a path, and He has asked us to follow that path. Today, many of our leaders, whether they're elected or they're bureaucratic in nature, have a different plan. They have an autocratic, bureaucratic sense of telling Americans where to go. And that's what's causing so many problems in the store lines where people are screaming at one another, "Get back from me, you're not 6 foot," because they have created a fear that somehow 6 foot is some magic distance. This is all foolishness. We have got to understand that following commands of the Lord is always hard, but there must be discretion. I love what the book of Horse Sense Proverbs says. Dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord. In other words, if it doesn't weigh out in balance, what you're telling people, if it doesn't weigh out in truth, it's dishonest. But a just weight is His delight. When pride comes, then comes shame. But with the humble, there is wisdom. Now, the Lord has asked us to follow His commands. In fact, He said two things about these commands in the New Testament, because everybody's worried about the 10 commandments of the Old. We couldn't keep any of them, so how are we going to be able to follow Him and obey these commands? He said, listen, let's wrap it up like this to the Pharisees. Let's say this: love God with all your heart and love your neighbors. You do that, and we're going to be square. And even inside of that framework of obeying the commands, it is hard, because some of our neighbors we don't love. Some of the people that are called our neighbors we don't want to participate with in their life or their lifestyle. So it's hard to obey commands. And what you're watching with Sassy today, with a double rope, 20 foot long, being distanced from her, it's not right up close. She has to understand the feel and obey the commands of changing directions and feel that nip and tuck. And we have to do the same. We have to have the Holy Spirit leading us, guiding us, even though we're getting these commands from people today that, think that they know the best path. And I'm not saying that I'm smarter or that you're smarter, but they do need to give us credit that we understand a lot more than what they're saying. And so, dishonest scales, that's an abomination, and we've got to be able to follow commands. The integrity of the upright, verse 3, will guide them. That's what gets us through this. The integrity of the upright. Do right because it's right. There's no reward. When you reward your children for doing right, you're saying to them there's a premium, there's a price. If you'll do this, you'll always get this. They have to be taught. It's like taking your garbage out. If you have a big trash sack and you say to your son or your daughter, take the trash out, and they say, well, how much do I get paid? Oh, 50 cents. It's their trash. Take the trash out. Doing right is the reward in itself. And so I love the integrity of the upright will guide them. Yes, we've got to follow directions, but yes, discretion and integrity carries us through. And what our government has to work on is the dishonest scales that are an abomination. Now that's horse sense.